Now, we all know that one cruiser that we remember well after we've gone on a cruise. And this video is how to not be that cruiser.
Yeah, don't be that guy. We've all experienced that person and it's annoying. We've experienced it firsthand. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Now, this is kind of a cruise etiquette guide. It's meant to be fun. It's not meant to be a lecture. These are all mistakes that we have all made or may make. We're just trying to save you that embarrassment.
Yeah, there are times where I would be annoyed about a certain situation and then I'd turn around and do it myself.
Yeah,
So just be aware of other people and yourself at the same time because we're just as guilty. Okay, we're going to start off with your presence in your cabin and around the ship in general.
Now, the first area there is going to be do not block the stairwells and the hallways. There are a lot of people on the ship. Everybody is moving about, not to mention the staff is moving about. And this is not the place to have your long drawn conversation. You can certainly have it there. Just be aware of your surroundings and move to the side.
And get out of the way.
Yeah.
Go down to that bar or restaurant and have that conversation. The biggest one for me, though, was using these stairs as a bench, as a spot to stop and rest while you're waiting for an elevator. There were times the whole bottom row was taken and people just kind of move out of the way. No, get up and move.
Yeah, it's just not the place to sit. There's plenty of places on a ship to sit down. We do get it if there was a medical emergency or something of that sort, but majority of the time it was just people who decided to have a conversation on the stairs, not the place or time.
And speaking of the elevator, that brings us into our next segment. How do you use the elevator? What's the proper way to use the elevator? Now, we fully understand if you cannot do the stairs, take the elevator. That's what it's there for. And we're not arguing that at all.
No.
But there is an argument.
So the thing is the people who decide to, during those times it's really busy, which is honestly majority of the time on the ship, and you are just going one floor or maybe two floors. There are a lot of people that absolutely need that elevator. They don't have another way to get around.
Right.
Do not get on the elevator if you can just hop down one flight of stairs or up one flight of stairs. It's really not this difficult. And so we just saw a lot of people struggling, waiting for elevators because there's the scooters that have to fit in, takes up a lot of space. So if you can and you're able-bodied, now if you're not, we totally understand that, but use that stairway.
So now we found that using the stairs was usually a lot faster anyway. When you need to get off the ship or you need to get someplace that everybody else is going to at the same time, you might want to just take the stairs anyway. Just be aware when you get in those lines, we're all going to the same place. We all want to get there. Just be patient.
Yeah, we experienced that quite a bit. The people just, the doors open to the elevator. Let everybody get out. Like we said, not everybody's able-bodied to do so. Give them the time to get off of the elevator. Do not rush through and push people. Even just that sense of somebody being right on your back, they may not physically be pushing you, but you sense that hurried feeling. Just relax, take time. We're all kind of on vacation. So the biggest
one for me was on the gangway, getting off the ship in a port. There was a gentleman coming up the gangway and he wasn't able to go too fast. He was an older gentleman with a cane, and we're waiting for him to come up, and people behind us were going around us. And I finally had to say, hey, can we just wait a second?
Yeah.
Let this gentleman get up the gangway, please. And it's just things like that. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of other people.
Right. Now the next one, and we experience this on a regular basis. Now we had a neighbor that did this quite often, and thankfully after like three or 4 days, I guess, it stopped. So I think somebody did bring it to their attention, and this is slamming your cabin door. These doors now, especially if you are on an outside cabin and you have your slider door open or a window, whatever, it slams shut really hard and it's very loud. But even if you don't have something open, they shut very loud. And at the hour that I would get up of, 5 a.m., sometimes a little earlier, it's really loud to everybody around. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, they close automatic.
Yeah.
And if you don't kind of hold them
give a little pressure to them.
They'll slam. And there was 3 or 4 of them going on around us. And like Carrie said, about a week into it, it stopped happening. I think somebody did say something.
Yeah, nobody wants that as a wake-up call in the morning or at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Now, this next one goes for any public setting, whether you're on a train, a bus, an airplane, a cruise ship. If you got to talk on your phone, put it up to your ear. You don't need to be on speakerphone. You don't need to be loud. We can all hear you. If I know your conversation by sitting across the room, the person you're talking to can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Put your phone on mute or put it up to your ear. You don't have to have it on speaker.
Right. And this also goes for standing on your balcony, like having those conversations out on your balcony. There were times that somebody would go out onto their balcony and we could hear the complete conversation. We knew everything going on in their life. That's just not necessary.
No, and
you don't have to talk that loud.
And again, this isn't a lecture. These are just these are things that we experienced on the cruise ship, that after 2 months on a cruise ship, you just start picking up on things. And all of these things, again, are things that we experienced firsthand. And the whole experience could have been a little more enjoyable if people were just aware.
I think it's just really, being aware of your surroundings is really key. Now, the next one is be aware of where you're supposed to be smoking. If you are a smoker, that's fine, but make sure they have designated areas to do that. That smoking on your balcony, when that is not a designated smoking spot, everybody around you gets to enjoy the benefit of your smoke, because even though you are at sea, that smoke still just hovers around those balconies. So that's something to also just keep in mind.
And if you've been watching the channel and you've been watching our cruise series, you will know that Princess Cruise Lines no longer has a cigar lounge.
Yeah, that was sad times.
That was sad times for me. So I didn't have a smoke for the entire 2 months, because I didn't want to go to the smokers section and smoke a cigar, even though I could have. It just wasn't my jam. So be aware of your smoke affects other people. Room service trays. Now I know people do this. And it was a pet peeve for me, because it was just an eyesore. If you're going to take your dishes and your room service trays and stick them out in the hallway, stick them in front of your door so they're not out in the hallway. I don't want to see it either way. But if you just put it outside your door where there's a little in cave, then it won't be in everybody else's way. You don't have to put it out against the wall. We saw that a few times. I don't understand why you just can't leave it in your room.
Yeah, and I know on Princess specifically, just because that's where we were just on, you can request that on the app or even on your TV to have your room service tray picked up. So do that, and it just is a lot nicer, because if every single person going down the hallway had a room service tray sitting out in the hallway, it would be absolutely disgusting. So just be aware. Once again, aware. That's the key phrase.
That's the key phrase of the entire video. Just be aware.
So the next area is being aware of time availability in those places that a lot of people use. One of those is the gym. If you are on a machine, and this doesn't go for like treadmill and stuff like that, we all are on there for, whatever amount of time that we need to be. But I'm talking about the like weightlifting machines, the weightlifting benches. There was a point where I was waiting for this guy who there were 3 benches and there was a group of like 3 guys. They just decided that they were going to put their towels on the benches and then sit and have a conversation. And they kept having a conversation. So I finally just went over and said, "Are you using the bench?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm not done." I'm like, "Well, it looks like you're done."
You're done.
And you're done. And then he did get to the point he was done, and then he moved on. But, just be aware of that. And then also the laundry.
Well, this one got me. And I was as close to saying something as I've been. And I did kind of make a snarky comment about it, but it wasn't that direct. My clothes were in the wash. And I got a timer, and I know when it's going to be done. And I show up about the same time my laundry is done. They were already out. My wet clothes were out on the table. And another gentleman was sitting there with a smile on his face because his clothes are now in the washing machine that I was using. I kind of gave him a look. Oh, they're done already. Must have gotten here just in time. He smiled, He ended up having to wait anyway because I had to put my clothes in the dryer.
Yeah, there's only like 3 dryers, 3 washers, so the rotation works itself.
And believe me, I let my clothes dry until they were almost burnt.
He used up every last second.
I used every last second of that dryer, so he had to wait. Don't do that. Somebody, if their clothes are in the washing machine or in the dryer, for 15, 20, 25 minutes after they're done, okay, you probably have every right to pull those out, but it was within seconds.
Yeah, he really was on it quickly because my stuff had my
wasn't
stuff
done yet.
wasn't done yet, and we put it in just right about the same as each other. But majority of the time, it is such a busy place on the ship. The people are waiting a long time to get their laundry done or to have one available. So there is that tension. So just kind of be as close and on top of it as you possibly can. Don't be that person that somebody has to wait for.
Okay, this next section is food, drinks, and fun.
There's a lot of that on a
There's
ship.
a lot of that on a cruise ship, yes.
Now, that one annoying area that I think most people get annoyed with is the saving of the pool chairs. So many cruise ships say that they crack down on this, but we really didn't see it happen once on Princess. You know, I mean, the putting your towel out in the morning thinking that you have the right to be able to hold a chair for the entire day for you and your entire family is really unrealistic on the size of a ship that you're on. Everybody would like that time to be in the sun. Just be courteous.
Be courteous. You know, it's funny that everybody that I know complains about saving of the chairs. I don't know of anybody that goes down, puts a book on one chair, a flip-flop on another chair, a hat on a third chair, just to save a row of chair. I don't know anybody that does it. But it seems like everybody does it.
It seems, I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork in the morning. We don't even see them, and all the chairs are saved up. So, just be nicer.
Just be nice.
Tan's not that much.
Just be nice. Okay, the biggest congestion that we have found was obviously at the buffet. Around the buffet, there's a common sense factor that most of us should have. There are those that don't. When you get your plate and you've got it mounded full of food and it's falling off, and it's almost embarrassing to see you with that much food in your plate. You can always go back and get more, but don't take so much food that the person behind you can't get to the tray.
Yeah, this was a shocking one to me. I think just because of the fact it is a buffet. Like, you can just keep going back. You can stay there all day long and eat all day long. I don't understand the concept of needing to fill your plate so full that you can barely get it back to your table.
And I think when we witnessed it the most was on the shellfish seafood nights when they had the prawns and whatnot, and clams, where people figured that they might be gone if I come back for seconds. So they'd have multiple bowls of clams or mussels or crawfish or whatever the case may be. And okay, cool. So you got all that, but the person that's fifth in line isn't going to get any.
Yeah, which, by the way, they did run out.
They did run out.
You know, sure, that person was, I'm sure, feeling pretty high and mighty. I'd feel like an idiot. I honestly would. I would feel like such a jerk.
I'd feel like a jerk.
Yeah. So once again, just be nice.
It reminds me too, you've heard me complain about the cookie situation on the cruise ship. There was one day where they did have the good chocolate chip cookies, and somebody again had a whole bowl. They probably had 15 cookies.
Yeah, they were sugar-free. That's the only reason.
These weren't the sugar-free ones.
Okay.
These were the good ones.
Oh, good.
These were the good ones because I took 2, which is respectable.
Right, that's respectable.
And I took my 2, and finally they got the chocolate chip cookies, and it only lasted a day. And this is probably why, because I walked by a kid. It wasn't a kid. He was in his 30s. Yeah. Had a whole bowl of chocolate chip cookies, and again, I was close to saying something, but I didn't.
What's the point?
Make me feel better?
Yeah, true. Now the other one is, if you are looking at a food item, say we'll be over in the bakery area and there's a roll or there's whatever, because those are the kind of things this happens with, and you grab one and to change your mind. I'm
going to put it back.
Do not put food back off of your plate or touching things with your hand and then put it back onto the tray. This is why there's so many like flues and stuff that travel through these ships, is because I can't believe you expect that like at an elementary school. I do not expect that on a cruise ship with a bunch of grown adults.
Now, we had a pros and cons video, a cruise ship pros and cons video. If you haven't watched that one, go check it out. But one of them was the buffet. We got a lot of comments. I would never go on a cruise ship because of the buffet situation. People are disgusting. And there are people that can be disgusting.
Sadly, there are, and there's times like we would just kind of, you'd see that person maybe that's right in front of you that is just doing that, even like this or and hacking. Yeah. We'd had that on a couple occasions, and we would just scoot to another area of the buffet completely.
I didn't eat that day. I'm not gonna eat.
It's a good diet way, but it makes you lose your appetite.
And we've talked about being aware of our surroundings and the people around us. When you're at the buffet and you want to see what's cooking, you don't have to get in line to see what's cooking. You don't have to stand there and contemplate. I got my plate and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And I want to eat.
There's people that are ready to go.
There's other people that are ready to go. On that also, there's usually a flow of the way the direction is going. Don't start at the wrong end and come against traffic. I experienced that more than once. Or somebody just getting in front of you and reaching for the ladle first. There's a flow. There's a reason why everybody's going the same direction. Follow suit.
With Brian saying that, and like we said, we've done some of these things. I've done that. And there's reason behind it, not justifying my actions. But if you are that person that's going to stand in the buffet line and, does that look good tonight? I don't know.
Looks good to me.
I am going to jump in front of you and grab that ladle and get my soup because I already know I want that soup or
That's
whatever
probably what
it
happened
is.
to me.
Yeah.
I was probably contemplating.
If you're thinking about it too long, just step back a little and think about it. You can see everything in the buffet line from a little bit back. So there's ways to do it. Now, we all love a good drink. We had the drink package. We enjoyed our drinks, but there was never a time that we were, I don't know, finding our way back to our room.
Yeah.
Not that we're aware of being annoying to the people around us.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm always annoying.
No.
Anyway, drinks or no drinks, don't get drunk.
Yeah, nobody.
I experienced it, I think, once on the Princess cruise ship. A lady was in the casino, and she was drunk, and they were trying to get her out. I think Princess cruise ships are a little better about that.
Yeah, I think there's certain lines
I think you just have a different level of clientele. We had not been on, I'm not going to mention any other cruise line, but there are some cruise lines that are infamous for being party cruise ships. You can mention them in the comments if you want to. I don't need to. But keep yourself in check.
Yeah, there was, it's not only like that you've been drinking, you're annoying all the people around you. We had a gentleman that was at the bar and he just would not leave people alone. Like he was in their space and it just becomes uncomfortable. Yeah. So get the drink package.
There was two, that was the other guy. Yeah.
And then just kind of keep it in check though. Watch yourself.
Now this next one kind of goes in line with saving deck chairs. That also includes the theater. You don't need to save a whole row of chairs. It's hard to do anyway.
It is really hard to do, and you're going to be...
Some people are pretty persistent.
Yeah.
No, I got 15 people showing up.
Yeah. Oh. If you have 15 people in your group or family that are coming, then at least 8 of those people need to be at the show to save chairs, not one person. I wouldn't want to be that one person. That would be a horrible, 20 minutes of trying to keep the chairs.
She doesn't even like saving a chair for me.
That is not true. That is not true.
Will you save me a chair, Carrie?
I'll think about
it.
Now, the other thing is while you're in those shows, if you want to take a picture, go for it. If you want to take a little clip of a video, that's great. But nobody, unless you are running a production and you're going to be, and then this time you should be in the back.
Yeah.
You do not need to videotape the entire performance on your phone, holding it up like this so that everybody behind you now is just looking at your phone.
Yeah.
So be polite and respectful of the people that are behind you. Absolutely take a picture. That never fazed us or bothered us.
No top hats.
Yeah, maybe
no top hats.
Yeah. Now, the next area is dealing with the crew and how to just kind of be around the ship and be polite and nice and kind.
Yeah, I'll tell you, these crew members, they work hard. They put in a lot of hours and they're there to service and make your cruise experience enjoyable. Treat them with respect.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be treated well, that is a guaranteed place you can go is a cruise ship where everybody is there to be kind to you and go out of their way to serve you. And the times that we've seen them be disrespected is really just kind of sad because of how much they do for you.
I did say something one time on that. I think I've said something
You've
twice.
said things a few times, just politely calling
hey,
people out
it's okay. He's doing his best,
Yeah.
Give him a chance.
Right.
And then they take a step back and they apologize. Both times they did. But it's embarrassing for me to hear that. It's uncomfortable for anybody around it when somebody's just being rude to a crew member.
Yeah, so those please and thank yous go a long way. So make sure that you're just using those, being respectful. They seriously go out of their way to make sure they get out of your way in the hallway when they're trying to do their job, So just that please and thank you and just showing them that respect.
Yeah. I even go as far, and we even go as far as doing our best to bust our table, taking our trays to the tray station. If that's not a good idea at that moment, we will stack our stuff up. We've literally seen people get up and walk away from a table that it's embarrassing. You wouldn't do that at home.
Yeah.
Try not to do it here.
Yeah,
now I know they're there to do it, but make their job easy.
It's that whole thing of like, oh, well, I don't need to clean that up. Somebody else is going to take care of it. That's not a good attitude. We all pay a lot to be on that ship. I do understand that. We've done it. But it's not their job to like wait on you hand and foot like that.
Kind of is.
But it's being super disrespectful.
But make it easy for them.
Yeah. I guess my example would be if you have a housekeeper in your house, you're not going to like the day that they're arriving decide to just like
trash your house. I know people with housekeepers that clean their house before the housekeeper comes over. Which doesn't make any sense either.
That would be me.
Yeah, that'd be Carrie.
I would do that.
Housekeeper's coming over. I better vacuum.
Now, like we said, this was not at all meant to be a lecture. It's meant to be fun. These are all things that we have just experienced in all the cruising we've done. And in the scheme of things, a lot of you have cruised a lot more than we have and seen a lot more than we have.
Yeah, so we want this to be interactive. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you've experienced. What did we miss? I'm sure we missed several.
Yeah.
We want to hear them.
Well, everybody has their own pet peeves.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to hear them because the next time I go on a cruise, I want to be aware of them because there might be things I'm not aware of.
Very true. That we're doing.
That might be annoying other people. Somebody else probably doing a video right now about me. I don't know. But let's hear from you. We want this to be fun.
Yeah, so put those down in the comments. It'll be fun to read and fun for other people to see what else other people experience as well. This is our third installment of our cruise series. This wraps this up. If you haven't seen the other two, we did the pros and cons and don't make these mistakes when cruising. You can catch those as well. And we just hope that this was fun and engaging.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
It's a big deal to us that you watch our videos. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.